In this step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can build this automation that will send you a personalized newsfeed right into your inbox every single day. I'm super particular when it comes to the type of news I want to read. First of all, I only want to read it from certain publications. And secondly, I only want to read it about certain topics. So that's why I created this automation. So it gives me this really personalized and tailored newsfeed based on my tastes. So it all starts with this Google Sheet over here in which we're searching for new rows. So if I go and flick open the Google Sheet, as you can see here, I have the source. So this is the sample source. I've got BBC, Financial Times, and then The Guardian. And then I've also got the RSS feeds for every single one of these sources. So I've got the BBC Technology RSS feed, the Financial Times Technology RSS feed, and the Guardian RSS feed for technology. And I've also got the keywords that I want associated with these sources. So for the BBC newsfeed, I only want to see articles related to TikTok. For Financial Times, I only want to see articles related to Sony. And for The Guardian, I also only want to see articles related to Sony. So this way you can adjust this Google Sheet over here to kind of come up with the same keywords and the same sources that only apply to your tailored needs, so you don't have to read all the news. This keyword can be anything. You can put it as like an industry, you can put it as a certain company like I have here. You can kind of do absolutely anything you want with this keyword. This is just an example over here. So that's how I've set up this Google Sheet, and I've programmed this automation to run, and you can change the amount of times you'd like it to run. So right now it's set to run every 15 minutes. We want it to run once a day. So we'll put every single day, and then we'll put a certain time. I'm just going to leave it as 5:25, and I'm going to click save. And I don't want to activate the scenario right now because I'm showing you how it works, but in reality, you would just click activate scenario here. And that means this automation will run at 5:25 every single day. And that means this module will go and get triggered, and it will go search for all the rows that are related to all the sources and keywords that we're looking for, and that will kick off this entire automation. So now that we've actually gone and searched the rows for what we now need to go and call those RSS feeds. So this is how this module is set up. We have the URL, and then we're pulling it from the Google Sheet, which will be this URL over here. And this will essentially go and grab that URL, call it, and then get all the articles that have been uploaded to that feed, the technology pages on all those different sources, and it will just go and grab all those feeds from there. So once we go and call the RSS feed, we want to go and grab all those news articles, which is great, but we don't want all of them, right? Not everything in the BBC technology section is relevant to us. We only want it related to those keywords that we set up in the Google Sheet. So that's why we have this filter right here. So what this filter is going to do is check if the title has the keyword, if the description has the keyword, or if the summary of the article has the keyword. And if any of those have the keyword that we're looking for, then the article gets passed through to be sent to us via email. If it doesn't, then it won't show up, and that's great because it filters what we want to read versus what we don't want to read. Now that we've got all the filters and stuff set up, the next thing is we want to do some data formatting, and that's why we use this tools compose a string module. So I just went and ran this automation so I can show you how the data flows and kind of comes in, and then I can kind of describe why we use this tools function. So if I show you how this RSS feed responds with data, so you can see here, bundle 1, it has the ID, which is the link of the article, has the title, so it shows Bill Gates, we've given away 100 billion, but my children won't be poor when I'm gone. So it's kind of an article about Bill Gates and his money, and he's giving it away to charity. And the next one you can see is about Barclays, and then bundle 3 is about Dynasty Warriors. So there's a bunch of different things, right? But we want this formatted in a way that's easy for us to read in our email. Ideally, we want the ID, we want the title, description, summary in one paragraph for every single article. So that's why we have this tools compose a string. So if I show you, we have the URL, then we have the title, we have the date, which I've set up as day, day, month, month, year, year, since I'm in the UK. If you're American, that'd be month, month, day, day, year, year. And then lastly, the description. So if I show you an example email, as you can see here, we have the title, and we've embedded the actual link into the title. We have the date in the correct UK format that we want. And then also the description over here, so I can have a quick overview to see if it's an article I want to read. And if I do, I simply just go and click on this, and it goes and opens up the article. And if I don't want to read it, then I just go to the next one and the next one and the next one. That's exactly what this tools module is doing. It's grabbing all this data that's kind of unformatted, not in a way that's useful to be sent in an email. And it's going and we're formatting it all within the HTML. If I go through this HTML in a bit of detail, so essentially we've got a H4 tag over here, and then we've got the reference. This is essentially the hyperlink over here, and we're hyperlinking this URL to the title. Then a format date is a make.com functionality, and essentially it can help you format a bunch of different dates. It's quite complicated to format dates in make.com. It's not kind of one of the easiest things to do. So I am going to make a whole separate video in depth about how to go and format dates. But this is just kind of, you can do format date and then the date you have from here and then the date you'd actually like it to be in. That's kind of an easy and short way to explain it. And then lastly, we also want the description in a separate line. So this is all done in HTML. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a simple HTML rundown of how you want the text to be formatted, and it will go and give it to you. Awesome. So now that all the data has been structured in exactly the way we want, the next step is to turn it into one big table. So that's why we have this tools table aggregator, and essentially it will just go grab all the text from each string and then put it into one long table. So one row of the table will be this, the next one will be the next article, and the next one will be the next article. Again, it is literally just a bit of data formatting within make.com to make sure the email is nice and presentable when it gets sent to myself so I can read it easily. And how I've set up this table aggregator is you can see here tools-composer string 3. That means it's related to this module, which is the tools composer string 3. So we just want to grab all the formatted text we had from this module over here and essentially just go put that in a table so that it's easy to read. Now that we've gone and we've formatted all the data, we just need to go and send that to us via email. So I've got an email module set up here, which is linked to my Gmail account. You can see the email address I'm sending it to is just my email address. I'm just sending an email from myself to myself as like an update of all the news that's happened in that day. And then I just have the sources and keywords is the subject. So BBC articles about TikTok, for example, that would be in relation to this one, which we've got all the BBC articles from TikTok. And then the content type is HTML because we programmed this composer string in HTML. And then we just put the text from the table aggregator because that's all in HTML in the nice row we want. And then I just get that email sent to me every single day. So this automation is super interesting because it teaches you a lot about how to use make.com and its data formatting abilities, which is a difficult thing to get your head around. Setting up AI modules and doing all that cool fancy stuff isn't super difficult in make.com. Don't get me wrong, if you want it to come out with a really good output, it is tricky. But in make.com, where a lot of people fail, is just understanding how to format data so users can see it easily and use the actual automation you're using easily. And that's one of the main things I try and focus on when we're building automations out. It's just to make sure that it's easy for everyone to use. And that's why you need to program your data really, really carefully and format it really, really carefully. And make.com can help you do that. It just has a bit of a learning curve. And I hope this automation tutorial has, kind of helped you overcome that learning curve a little bit. So if you enjoyed this automation tutorial, it would help out a ton if you could interact with this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.